Okay, hello, my family. Um, Today's going to be interesting. And I say interesting because it's already bubbling up. There's not many opportunities where I get to express raw emotions exactly how they are, where you guys will basically get first glimpse. So um, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is I found out there's some emotions in me that I wanted to share. And let me tell you why I share. Um, Normally, I don't do this. I don't believe in putting my life personally out there vulnerably to people I don't know, right? That's just something I don't do. But when it comes to helping somebody get through a problem or helping somebody who's experiencing pain, and by my testimony or by my example, if they're able to get out of it, then by all means, I'm like, let's get it done. Let's do it. Because my end result and my goal is freedom. Because see, I'm not afraid to talk about some topics, and sometimes it gets me in trouble because I don't know how not to be real. I don't know how not to be honest. I just don't. I wasn't raised that way, didn't grow up that way. I just know how to be raw. I just know how to, like give it to me straight. You know what I mean? And then let's grow from there. So this is what I know how to be. And in the rawness, praying that other lives are transformed and changed because you were blessed by my testimony. So it may be a tearjerker. So just be prepared. Anyway, I wouldn't expect to do all this, but I wanted to make sure that I was like, it's not every day that I'm caught in raw emotions, dealing with grief, and I wanted to lay that out. Okay, so as you guys know, I'm Jessica Poche, and I am founder and director of A Widow's Fight organization, where we focus on not only those who are widowed, but anybody's dealing with grief, and also building strong and healthy families. And so this conversation or this opportunity that I'm sharing with grief is just like a real raw moment. And that's why I'm lost for words. This video may be extensive just because of that, because it's not scripted, it's not planned, it's just very raw. And so today is December 21st, 2020, which marks 3 years ago that my dad passed away. And so that's my father. I am his firstborn. A lot of you see me with my older sister. And we do have different fathers, but you see me with my older sister, and that's my road dog, my best friend. We grew up together, but it's not just us. We have Courtney, we have Jeff, we have Emmanuel, we have Laura, we have Shanice, we have Kiki. We have Michael Jr., we have Michael, we have Tatiana. Like, there's a whole group of us. But the ones who are connected at this moment, which I look forward for the day that's different, is me and Yvonne. We've always been connected since high school. We went to high school together. So, we're 1 year apart, a year and a few months apart. So we just grew up doing everything together. So that's why you see us, we're in ministry together. You see us a lot because we're sisters and we're best friends. But there's so many of us. And I say that because last night, all through my sleep, I was waking up in the middle of the night, interceding on behalf of my siblings, because a lot of us are not connected, not together with me and Yvonne. We're just not connected. And the desire of my heart is to be connected. And I just, from the time I went to bed, which I wasn't feeling well, so I went to bed early. I ate something. From that night, praying, waking up like 4, probably 5 times throughout the night. I'm praying and praying and praying and praying for my siblings, for our relationship, just for healing and just for different things. And didn't even realize that to be warned, because you may get ugly cry on this, okay? And don't make no video out of it. But I didn't even know. I didn't even know that today marked 3 years of my dad passing. Not till I got a call earlier today. And the reason why I'm making this video is not just because of that, but I took a walk outside after this call with my dad's love. And when I walked outside, I was like, God, I'm so angry. And see, and I share stuff like this because I'm always joyous, which is true. And a lot of people say, oh, I just love your joy, and that's a blessing. And I appreciate that. I'm grateful for the joy, especially because everything I've gone through. But there are moments like this that are real moments. And I give it to God and I allow him to use it and to heal so that I can continue in joy, And I was walking outside. I was just talking to God, and I was like, God, I didn't even know. I didn't even know that this marked 3 years of my dad being gone. And the reason why I didn't know it is because he wasn't there. And I don't say it to demean him in any way. I was just walking outside and I said, God, I'm angry. I was like, I'm angry. Which I know also attests to Pastor Michael Todd. I've been going through Forgiveness University for like 10 weeks, just making sure that before this year is out, like there is nothing on my plate that's left where it hinders God, where all forgiveness is taking place and he has done it. But when I was walking out, I just said, I'm mad, God. And I was just, talking to my dad who is in heaven, I believe. And I was just saying, like, you robbed me. You took my dad away. Not that God took my dad away, but that you took my dad away from me. You took my father. And because you were there for me when I was growing up, the fact that he has passed on is not really felt. And it's not fair. It's not fair because I feel like he robbed me of my ability to grieve for him. He took my grief, which is my right. Grieving is an inheritance. It's a right that you get to have for the person that's in your life and the person who loves you and who you love. Now, I'm not saying that my dad didn't love me. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is I see my siblings who are hurt. And I love them so much. And they're so broken. And they're hurting in the capacity that I cannot feel because our relationship with our father was different. And that tugs my heart. It tugs my heart. And it's crazy because the thing that got me is I didn't even know I was angry, And that's just how God works sometimes. And he just allows you to go through life. But when you're in a state of surrender, he brings stuff up that needs to be dealt with. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for that. And so I realized that again, even though I thought I did it before, again, I had to forgive my dad. I had to forgive him for not giving me the relationship I needed. And also as a beckoning call for any other parents, I don't care who you are, I need you to reach out to your children because we need you. It doesn't matter how old we are. It doesn't matter. Don't allow your children to not grieve you because your presence. I grieved my dad this whole time. I grieved him my whole life. So this wasn't different. But that hurts that my grief is different from my brothers and sisters. It hurts that I can't really join in with their pain. Not that there is no pain, because of course there is, but it's just a different grief, But I appreciate God so much in his sovereignty and in his love without me even knowing. Last night, I'm just travailing, I'm praying, I'm interceding in my sleep, not recognizing that it was for this night. And what I thought was interesting is, so Thanksgiving was the last holiday with my husband, who passed away 5 years ago. So their deaths are 2 years apart. So I lost my husband 5 years ago, and that weekend of Thanksgiving, I was just down. I wasn't feeling good. I was exhausted. I was tired, and I didn't understand what was happening till afterwards. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's grief. Like, it got me. And I was just laid out and tired for a couple of days. And then, I wasn't feeling good these last couple of days, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Like, what's going on? I thought it was my iron being low or whatever. And then, Yvonne, my sister, came in and she just asked me, she said, are you grieving? And I was like, no, there's nothing to grieve. But I didn't know. And I believe now that, it's my natural reaction of grieving my dad. And which is crazy because part of me wishes there was so much more to grieve, but I do and I'm not saying I have an adopted father who's my stepfather, who I love so much, who has been there, these last few years. But my daddy, my birth daddy, he gave me a spirit of adventure. He gave me the gift of artistic abilities, as well as my mom, because I came from her too. And he gave me the desire to research and the love of math and the love of gathering together with people and just being cool and chill and just enjoying life and enjoying people and having a good time, and I know he didn't give me absolutely everything my heart's desire, but there are some great things that he did pass on. And why am I sharing this? Because I'm challenging you. See, we could sit and hold on to what was not and be upset for what was not, or we could be grateful for what was and move forward. Because see, I have some amazing, beautiful, gifted, and talented siblings that I miss with my whole heart. And no, I don't know how to connect all the way. I know how to do things like get people and let's get together, but I don't know how to necessarily connect all the way. I know y'all don't believe me, but I don't. I'll share that with my grief class too. When I lost my husband, part of me, I had to, I'm learning this year, I've pushed myself and to teach me how to just reconnect with people, because it's not something that I do the best. I love people, I can connect at first sight and different stuff like that. But as far as just that continuation, it's a little difficult for me, but I miss my family. I miss my Nortney Poirier. I miss my Maddie. I miss my Kiki. I miss my Shanice, my Laura, my Jeff. I miss I gave in Michael Todd's offer. One of the things I gave for this year was actually reconciliation with my siblings. And today was such an awesome privilege that I got to speak to one of them. And then the other day I was able to text my brother, and it's just such a blessing to have that connection. And I have an expectation for more. But the whole point of all this is, first and foremost, guess what? Grieving is okay. It is a natural part of healing that God gave us, and it is a gift, and it is okay. And you don't have to be strong. You don't have to be, have reached your quota or whatever. No, it's okay to have moments. But what I share with my group is the moment should change. So like normally around Thanksgiving, about 2 weeks or even a month out, my whole body would start to change, and I would start getting sad around Thanksgiving because of my husband's death. And now it's been 5 years that he passed. And so this year, it wasn't too many tears. It was just my body was tired. It was a time of rest, and it only was for a couple days. See, but there was a change. There was a growth. There was some type of forward movement. It wasn't exactly the same thing for all these years. And that's what healthy grieving looks like. Not to ignore it, not to hold it in, but to let it come out as it comes out. And probably at the end of all this, I'll probably go somewhere in the corner and just really have it out, because I can't really talk like that and, practice like that. But I'll cry like my nephew is in the background. But just this opportunity to grieve. So it is okay to grieve. I'm telling you, it is okay to grieve. Grieving is healthy. Grieving is normal. Grieving is good for your body. And if you don't, it'll get you sick. So take time to grieve. Number 2, guess what? It's all right to be upset and speak the reality of the situation. And see, I'm mad that my dad's not here. I'm mad that before he left, he took himself away from me. My dad took my dad away. Right? My dad, not God. It wasn't God. It was my dad took my dad away. And guess what it did? It made me angry. And so it's okay. It is okay to be upset. It is okay that things weren't perfect. But it's not okay to stay there. That's where there's the key. And that's why I came on so transparent, because that's the reality. And so what am I doing and what have I done? As I was walking, I just told God, like, I'm upset. And as I was just walking, I was just talking. I was telling my dad, I said, you took my dad away. Like, you took my dad away, And I was like, but you know what? I forgive you. Like, I forgive you. It's all right. Like, what was is what was. I don't care. It's in the past. What I want now is I have a beautiful family. I have siblings to connect with, and that is the desire of my heart. So, yeah, the past is the past, whatever. But you gave me a beautiful blessing of growing together with my siblings, and that is awesome. So forgiving and moving forward. Now, I don't know if anything else may come up. I don't know. But all I can do is take this moment as it is. Okay? And then the last one is reconciliation. I know God doesn't call us to reconcile with everybody. But if you have a desire to reconcile with your family, to be connected, because sometimes when there is loss, especially if there's like step siblings or stuff like that, or step parents or anything, like there can be a disconnect. And guess what? It's okay if you want to be reconnected, and it's okay if you don't know all the right things to do yet. It's okay if you don't know how yet. And it's okay to move forward and just say, I just love and miss you. Let's just work this out, So that is okay to do. And it is also okay if there's a relationship that is not healthy. And that is not good, and that is not okay. It is okay for you to say, no, thank you, I don't want to reconcile, but still walking in forgiveness though. Like, I forgive you, I love you, but it's not healthy to be connected. And so I would like, that space. And then lastly, I'll just say relying on God. Okay, this is not lastly, this is like second to last, but relying on God, because I didn't know what I was experiencing, but Holy Spirit did. How am I praying and praying and praying for something? And then today, one of the answers to my prayer took place. That, like that rocks, I got to talk to my baby brother. And that's awesome. That's awesome. And I am so excited for our relationship to come. I am so excited that I have him here. But who would have known? Who would have known that was going to come after having this all night of prayer without even realizing that this was my dad's anniversary, death anniversary. And then this is my last. You guys, my parents, you have to stay connected to your children, okay? And I say it not in anger anymore, but my dad robbed my ability to grieve. See, the reality is 3 years after his passing, I should be broken. I should feel every way, but notice I still feel it. Even though my head knowledge wasn't there, my heart knowledge was there, and my body reacted to the time that my daddy left, even though he has not been in my life. And not to say we didn't have moments of, just little moments here and there together, but we didn't have like a relationship, And it's unfortunate, but it's the reality. And so what I have to say to the baby girl or even son who is broken because you don't have one of your parents here, forgive them. Forgive them. Forgive them so that God can heal that wound. And go head forward in the newness that God has for you, because there are blessings there. And then remember the amazing things. There has to be a couple. There has to be some. Everything couldn't have been 100% horrible. There has to be something that you can pull from. And that was the beauty of starting this, starting this video earlier, just the beauty of recognizing some of the greatest parts of me came from him. And one of the most amazing things he did, which I think benefits most people, is when I was born, he lifted me up. He lifted me up to heaven. And he gave me over to God when I was a baby. That was one of the most amazing things he could have ever done. And it's worth so much value in my life. He surrendered me to God. And guess what? I am living, breathing, moving for God because a father decided to step up and knew to hand me over to him at my birth. And so I'm so grateful for that. I am so grateful for that. So parents, children, love while there's life. I tell you, moms and dads, I don't care how old you are, how old your children are. We need you and we want you. I don't care how angry we are, irritated we are. We need you and we want you. And it could be something as simple as sending a card consistently. Something as simple as just showing up. It doesn't have to be this whole big extravagant thing. It just needs to be you. All right? So you got my snot and tears today because I got him. And this is the 3rd year anniversary of my dad